to come to the dais. Yeah. And all of them requested to be seated.
I request all of you to be seated. A very good evening to all of you. First of all, I invite all the dignitaries to join us on the dais. Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, IAS, Principal Secretary, Department of Industries and Commerce, Government of Telangana. Dr. Sudha Mysore, CEO, Agri, India Limited, New Delhi. Mr. Srinivas Rao Mahankali, CEO, T-Hub, Hyderabad. Mr. Arul Selvan, GM, NABARD, Hyderabad. Dr. C.H. Srinivasa Rao, President, AIDEA and Director, ICAR Now. Dr. G. Venkateshwarlu, Vice President, AIDEA and Joint Director, ICAR Now, for this grand launch of Agri Udaan 5.0, India's unique food and agribusiness accelerator program.
Very good evening to all. Before we start our lighting the lamp, I request our director to give the flower bouquet welcome to Mr. Inigo Arul Selvam, the General Manager of NABARD.
Enlightens everyone, but the light of knowledge enlightens those who are actively seeking the light. With these auspicious words, I kindly invite all the dignitaries on the dais to light the lamp. Please, sir. Please, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. IRD Hyderabad, followed by the Director, Agri Extension at Manage. He was deputed to various countries as an expert for sharing Indian experiences on agriculture and rural development. He received the Best Scientist Award from ICAR NAM during 2020. He served as an head Education Systems Management Divisions at ICAR NAM and is now the CEO of Center for Agri Innovation, AIDEA, ICAR NAM. Sir, I kindly invite you to welcome the gathering. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Caroline. Very warm greetings to all the invitees here. Sir, Agri Innovate India Limited, New Delhi. Mr. Srinivas Makanhalli, he will be joining with us, CEO T-Hub. Mr. Inigo Arul Selvan, the General Manager NABARD, and sponsors, mentors, investors, startups, and unique activities in this startup ecosystem. Welcome you, sir. I would like to welcome Dr. C.S. Srinivasa Rao for his presentation on the overview of AIDEA and accomplishment of AIDEA, and also for your presidential address during today's event. Sir, you have given a lot of support and permission for organizing this event for the benefit of the advanced stage of the startup, which is we call as accelerator program. It's one of the very important upscale the Center of Agri-Innovation to the Center of Excellence in Agricultural Innovation under the guidance of the Joint Director and Director of ICAR NAB. It takes me pleasure to welcome Mr. Srinivasa Rao Makanhalli, the CEO of T-Hub, who will be joining with us. It is one of the largest and the leading India's pioneering ecosystem, which is providing support to the both India and international startups established in 70,000 square feet area with a 360-degree with a facilitator, Government of India. It is working towards sustaining and promoting global agricultural development. The Agri Innovate India is working a lot for the commercialization of the agriculture technologies in the different countries of it. Welcome you, madam, for this event today. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Inigo Arul Selvan, GM NABARD, and Mr. Somasundram, the DGM NABARD, who are here for witnessing this event And the funding, Kumar is representing this organization. And from our Mr. Natarajan sir is here as a DGM. We welcome you, sir. And also, we also got support from SIDBI, also, and other senior official from Mr. Rajendra Kumar, our AGM of SIDBI, who has been very well touch with us, and he has given a gold sponsorship for our program. We also got a sponsorship from the Caspian for this. It's our great pleasure to welcome the investors, very important people of the accelerated program. Dr. Abhay Kwekute, he is the director of MMRC and with Madam Lakshmi. Mr. Vivek Vermaji is the chief impact officer, the Rekyal Foundation. Mr. Mahender, he is the founder of the CEO, BIS Brand Solutions. And Mr. Gaurav Patel, the founder of the Pipe Baker, Hyderabad. In addition to that, we have a good number of mentors with us, and we welcome mentors. Your support is required for even Agri Udaan 5.0. So we have a good number of knowledge partners who are the partner of our TBA. Good number of agribusiness incubation ABA units established by ICR also, we invited them, those who are placed in Hyderabad. So our ABA knowledge partner, Dr. Sharvana Raj is from Director Manage. Dr. Muthukumar, Principal Scientist, ICR NRC Meet. Dr. A.S. Hari Prasad, Principal Scientist, ICR Indian Staff Rice Research Institute. Mr. Rajesh, the Chief Executive Officer from the T-Hub Foundation, who was instrumental to have a connectivity with the T-Hub for us. Mr. Anuj Naran, Head, and Mr. Vijay Raghavan, who are leading the monitoring and evaluation team of Sanmodi. So we have done a good program with the Sanmodi organization, in bringing the APOs in the system of AIDA. And Mr. Bhagavan Naik and Mr. Abhishek from SBA Norm branch, who are always will be supportive to us for executing our activities. I also welcome the AIDA startups. Sir, we have invited the startups, the accelerated startups who are done in the Agri Udaan 4.0, who are based at Hyderabad and who got the benefit of to give their reflections we invited. So I invite them as idea startup there are two organizations of the Farm OR and Farm Sati. I invite them. Mr. Shushat Masna and team from Farm Sati and Mr. Sai Teja from the Farm OR for sharing their reflections. Welcoming you all. I also, most importantly, I have to welcome the important organization, Mr. Major Sunil and his team from the My Startup TV. They are always behind us, always they are supporting us to bring all our activities, aid activity to the social media. I welcome Major Sunil ji and his team for the entire support of you. Most importantly, I welcome our ICR, my colleagues, NORM faculty. There are my senior colleagues have come here. They are the members in different committees of our AIDA startups. And my senior officers from the administration and finance, chief technical officer, and staff of all ICR NORM and AIDA team. And I welcome once and all.
I am honored to welcome our president of AIDA, Dr. Srinivasa Rao, to give a small presentation. Sir, I would like to introduce you before that. Dr. C.H. Srinivasa Rao holds PhD in Soil Science and Agri-Chemistry from IARI New Delhi and postdoc from Tel Aviv University, Israel. He worked under IISS Bhopal and was a project coordinator of AICRP for dryland agriculture. He was deputed to International Crop Research Institute for Semi-Arid Tropics, Patancheru, and was the director for Central Research Institute for Dryland Agriculture. He has won a number of awards, including the Sardar Patel Outstanding ICR Institution Award in 2021 and Rafi Ahmed Kuwadi Award for Outstanding Research in Agricultural Sciences in the field of Natural Resources Management and Lifetime Achievement Award from Andhra Pradesh Academy of Sciences, Amravati. He is now serving as the director of ICR NAM and the president of AIDA. I welcome you, sir, to present the overview and accomplishments of AIDA.
Good evening, everyone, and guests on the dais, and also all invited guests for this very important Agri Udaan 5, and all. Welcome again, formally Agri Udaan 5 launch program, and basically what is, let me go there, I'm not able to see. Hand mic is there? Hand mic is there? Hand mic. Yeah, basically, I just try to put that what is ICR to see that the vision of ICR is to lead India towards environmental and livelihood security through research, education towards attaining sustainable food and nutritional security. And we have, as Ranjanji was asking, that 103 ICAR institutes and 11 Ataris covering 732 Krishi Vijnana Kendras, and at present we have 74 state agriculture universities. The row map shows that of National Agriculture Research and Education System by capacity strengthening, education, research, consultancy and policy support. We have 6 divisions and 2 advanced centers. Primarily, if we summarize this slide, we have dual roles: capacity building of all the stakeholders in India, then think tank policy research research institute of ICAR Institute. So far, we have contributed around 25 research policy papers. The background for Agri-Udaan is that we have enough food this year. For example, if you see that the food production, food grains 325 million tons, and we have 330 million tons of fruits and vegetables, and 230 million liters of milk, and 170 billions of eggs, and 18 million tons of fish. A point is that everything we have, but we are losing 1/3 food. Food losses are 1/3, and agriculture food system, we would like to, innovations are required towards the food security plans, climate change, weak markets. We are still primary agriculture based and low farmers' income. So Indian Council of Agriculture Research, ICAR, we, along with the state agriculture universities and many other stakeholders, including private partners, we developed very location-specific technologies. However, these technologies need to market orientation, ready to go to market strategies required. That's what we are sitting here to think, that what are the innovations are required. Honorable Prime Minister called for the doubling for farmers by 2022. Aspect which highlighted was that startup culture can really contribute to the farmers' income, job creation and prosperity and wealth creation to the India. So the AIDEA, the abbreviation is Association for Innovation Development and Entrepreneurship in Agriculture. So we have partners, as it is indicated, NABARD primarily, DBT, DST, ICR, and many other partners are there. So our vision is an agri entrepreneurship, to develop agri entrepreneurship ecosystem in India that promotes through capacity building and facilitating access to knowledge and resources. So the journey, I will not be reading what is the journey and milestones of AIDEA. I am very happy. In fact, Jayesh Ranjanji was with us for launching Agri-Udaan 3, Agri-Udaan 4, and again Agri-Udaan 5 today. Very happy. So our journey started around approximately 9-10 years back, and today we are here. And our key focus areas covering almost all the sectors: agriculture and subsectors, field crops, horticulture, dairy, fishery, and eggs, and all the sectors, but specifically mentioning that sustainable inputs, smart farming, precision farming, innovative food technology, supply chain technology, fisheries of sustainable and responsible fisheries systems, soil, water, weather technologies, farm mechanization, IoT and artificial intelligence, agri-fintech, animal husbandry and urban vertical farming, agri-biotech and post-harvest management, and farm fresh retail. Agri-Udaan of AIDEA, this is the TBI of ICR NAM, is basically Agri-Udaan is a food and agri-business accelerators that we are, as I was telling, that this is series number 5. The program intends to catalyze food and agri-business startups through rigorous mentoring, industry networking, and investor meetups. It is a unique platform for the scale-up stage innovators, entrepreneurs, and startups in food and agri-business sector, to showcase their products, services, and to receive valuable inputs from mentors, incubators, R&D institutions, and agribusiness industry and investors. So this is the a snapshot, the Agri-Udaan journey. Agri-Udaan 1, we organized in association with IMA, and out of 190 applications, finally we finalized 88 startups. Then moved to the Agri-Udaan 2. The number has increased tremendously there, and then again grounded to the 10. Then this is Agri-Udaan 2, it was launched in Delhi, and Agri-Udaan 3 in Hyderabad, and Agri-Udaan 4, of course, during COVID time, we launched the online system. Honorable Chairman NABARD inaugurated that. Just a snapshots of Agri-Udaan 1, how we Agri-Udaan 1 launched, and Agri-Udaan 2, where Professor Amit Jain, the planning Niti Aayog member, inaugurated that, and Agri-Udaan 3, where we can happily see that all our colleagues here, and we have done at Hyderabad, and this is the Agri-Udaan 4, NABARD chairman was here. So the basic major activities under NABARD sponsored project. In fact, NABARD is contributing immensely in the NAM activities of Agri Incubation Center or seed funding, various activities. And we do sensitization programs, then national capital, Delhi, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, and so on, including Assam. One of the, as Ranjanji was asking that how we are taking the advantage of 117 ICAR Institute. We have 103 agri startups located in different states of India in different ecosystem. So instead of these startups for technical advice and many mentoring exercise, instead of they come to Hyderabad, and we are harnessing the local networking. So recently we have 29 MOUs with ICAR institutes from ISRI, New Delhi, IRI, and almost these ICR institutes are across all the states. So that we are linking with the local ICR institutes, so and managing from instead of going, they come to Hyderabad or we go there, and local technical knowledge is answered as a mentoring exercise. Then this is another sensitization. For that, all agri scientists need to be sensitized various activities. This is the one of the MDP for leadership training, and another is MDP for newly created Krishi Vijnana Kendras, because KVK is very, very important activity in this, and they have presence in all the districts, and some of the districts they have more than two KVKs. Jayesh Ranjanji, that earlier when we were students of BSc Agriculture, we never listened that the startup culture, valuation, processing, secondary agriculture. So basic, the orientation and the knowledge and awareness, what are the opportunities, what are the constraints, we would like to sensitize the students of agriculture and also private institutes across the country. So we have started this exercise 2.5 years back, and we have reached to almost 4,000 students across. Now we would like to reach to at least 40,000 students across India, to see that there is an opportunity, big opportunity, because altogether we are producing 1,000 million tons of food. 1/3 is wasted, and there are many challenges, future challenges to sustain the agriculture. You can see students were there at Namsai and Raichur, then Puducherry, around 400 students, Meerut in Uttar Pradesh, Udaipur, Rajasthan, Sife, Mumbai, for Cochin and Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala, and veterinary sector, Tirupati, Vijnan University, private university, Andhra Pradesh, Jhansi, UP, Jammu Kashmir, and Tanvas. These are the next listed is that on 12th August we are sensitizing the students, graduate students and science students with the help of one of ICAR Institute in Andaman Nicobar Island in Port Blair. So these are some of the immersion programs. Of course, FPOs are very, very important. We would like to associate with the FPOs. So these are some of the programs which are listed here. And this is the cohort networking capacity building meetings, because these are all part of that objective is to develop networking among the startups and train them on financial management and effective pitch making and pitching process concept of digital marketing and branding. So overall, Udaan, what we touch upon: mentoring, capacity building, networking, and business services and funding. And so far the story goes like this: how many cities we have covered, and overall growth, how many startups, investors, and total investment. And recently for Udaan 4, which was launched online, the demo day was organized. Finally, these are the 10 startups presented in front of 30 investors in Hyderabad. So these are the number of investors showed interest for this acceleration program. These are the listed here. Then we have very high level dignitaries were there. One recently Sri Shaji KV, Deputy Managing Director NABARD headquarters, visited NAM, and Dr. Ashok Dalwai and many others. In fact, Dr. Krishna Ella, Bharat Biotech, also recently visited. And these are some of the achievements. I will not be reading that what are the prizes we have got, what are our incubative, what kind of awards they are getting across India, what are the success stories from each Udaan. So we have listed that key, how much the various incubates raise that money. And these are some of the recognitions to the AIDR NAM. And it's very, very important. Today we are launching August 6th at Hyderabad. These are the time schedules, and finally it ends demo day in February 2023. That is the means that we are exposing to the investors. Basically, the Udaan 5.0 accelerator, the focus is selecting 12 startups who are in the mature stage engaged in the agriculture domain to help them for their prototype to market journey. Duration is 4 to 5 months. Key offerings during acceleration is knowledge workshops, one-to-one mentoring, and customized support for critical valuation and IPR issues, and business to investor connect. So last slide is that the proposed road shows under the Udaan, and we will be taking 4 locations, the road shows. Basically, road shows means to expose the gather ideas, and Kolkata, Bangalore, Delhi, and Pune, perhaps we may consider 1 or 2 more. Thank you very much. Thank you for patience listening. Thank you.
Udaan 4.0 was started in May 2021, from which 10 startups were selected and mentored, and the final demo day was conducted on the 21st May 2022, wherein a total of 25 plus investors showed up. In regard to this, I would like to call upon 2 startups from the previous cohort to share their experience. Firstly, I would like to invite Mr. Sai Teja, founder of Farm OR Agri Solutions, Hyderabad. Mr. Sai Teja is an IITian turned entrepreneur whose aim is to revolutionize agri-input supply chain agronomy through his startup Farm OR. I now kindly invite him to share a few words.
Good evening, one and all. Good evening, sir. I'm Sai Teja. As introduced, I'm a person who is having tech background. And coming to Agri is a very tough task for me to actually start with. But how Udaan and ICAR, NAM, and AIDIA helped me, I'll just explain in a few words. So what we do at Farmer, we create a marketplace model, and we create a small app where FPOs, dealers, new age entrepreneurs can source inputs for their shop, can advise farmers through us, can connect scientists to the farmers, can sell the produce of the farmers as well through this app. So this particular platform is being used by 500 plus users right now. Out of them, I proudly say that 70 are FPOs. Out of these FPOs, we were able to increase sales for 20 FPOs by 50%. So that is something which we are trying to create a value. because FPOs need to become sustainable. So without a proper business model or business, it's not possible. So we're trying different models. So AIDEA helped us connect actually to the NABARD officials and every district DDMs. As Sundar sir also know that every DDM is connected with us. So any meeting happens in any district, NABARD officials call us and help us connect with the FPOs. So again, we help them set up input shop, help them digitalize the inventory, help them manage the farmers, help them plan the inventory for the next season, so that entirely able to generate 3 crore GMV out of these 200 customers. And yeah, I mean, we are growing, and as a part of Agri Udaan 4.0 also, we were able to connect with 5 investors, and we are in talks with raising funds for the same, and increasing the sales as well. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Saiteja. I now invite Mr. Sushant Masana, CEO of FarmSathi. Mr. Sushant has done his post-graduation in machine design from IIT Varanasi. He has previously worked in the EV industry and also corporate sectors. Being born into a family of farming background and experiencing the hardships of farmers in his family, he has stepped forward to revolutionize the ages-old agricultural practices. I now invite him to share a few words.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me. I'm Sushant Masana, CEO of FarmSathi. So we at FarmSathi develop fully autonomous robots for weed and pest control. So Agri Udaan has mainly helped us in 3 key areas. First one being with mentorships and market connect. With the help of mentorship program, we've been coached by world-class leaders in pitch refinement, business model validations, and network connects. And as our director sir has already said that they've got immersion programs where we are directly connected with the farmers. Those are on the ground level. And we got around 20 to 30 plus qualified leads. And now they are behind us for further demos and transactions. That's how they have enabled us. Thank you. And then second is with the funding opportunities. Widely discussed topic in an entrepreneur's journey. We have been exposed to 30 plus investors, where around 8 plus have showed interest in us, which would have been otherwise very tough job for us to get them be interested in us. Now, we have already raised a pre-seed round before the cohort. With the help of the investors that got connected in this cohort, we're going to raise our seed round as well. Lastly, this cohort, the co-founders, our fellow ones, we have created an ecosystem that has given a go-to place whenever we have a problem or to plan strategies. This has opened up new avenues for us to expand into their geographical locations. And I thank AIDEA, Technology Business Incubator of ICAR NAM, for successfully organizing Agri Udaan 4.0 and wish them all the very best for 5.0. Thank you, NABARD, for funding them.
Thank you, Mr. Sushant. I take honor in introducing Dr. Sudha Mysore, CEO of Agri India Limited. Dr. Sudha Mysore served as a principal scientist at ICAR, Indian Institute of Horticulture Research, Bangalore. She has a Fulbright pre-doctoral and postdoctoral fellow with rich working experience at Cornell University and Michigan State University. Her international recognitions include working and presenting at Cornell University and Michigan State University, USA, HORDI Sri Lanka, Biodiversity International, UNEP GEF Program, Business School, Toulouse, France, IAE Beijing, China, Thailand. Dr. Sudha Mysore is currently serving as the CEO of Agri India Limited. I would like to call her to address the gathering. Please, ma'am.
Good evening, one and all. The dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. I find this a great privilege that I am standing before you to speak to you all. At the outset, I would like to congratulate NAM and AIDEA for pulling off wonderful programs, Agri, Udaan, and fifth one, 5.0. I think they have done a tremendous progress and they have helped the farmers and entrepreneurs in a very big way. Hearty congratulations, and I do look forward that you will progress much better this year also. Sir, I would like to submit to you, Dr. Ranjan sir, and all the dignitaries. I think we are today in a innovation revolution. I think we passed through green revolution, we've achieved self-sufficiency. Now we are in a very different center where we are already looking at innovations, inventions, and technology-based growth. And this is a very difficult period if you look at it, because it doesn't happen so easily. And there is a dualism I find. On one hand, the government of India, if you see, so much of funding is available. 1 lakh crore is available under infrastructure funds. Or if you see Pradhan Mantri Matsya Yojana for fisheries, if you see for horticulture crops, 500 crores, you name it and everything, the entire value chain, there is so much money is available. But how does one actually make use of this money? Can a youngster, like the two people came and spoke, will they on their own, can they just start and do it something and make use of this funding? It's very, very difficult. But of course, our youngsters are very good and they are able to do this exceptionally. Because if you see the top 30 or 20, the startups we have, I think India is growing so fast in startup ecosystems. Probably we are competing with other countries very well. But at the same time, it's not an easy job for an entrepreneurial journey. Is not easy. Now, you got an idea, you got a passion, and you want to go forward, and you think that you can solve the entire problem of agriculture value chain. Especially, you concentrate mostly on market-oriented problems. Can we help the farmers in assembly? Can we help the farmer get a better price? Can we help reduce the marketing losses? This is what all of us are looking at. And IoT-based, ICT-based, so many things are happening. And it's an excellent program, and excellently our youngsters are doing. But unless you have a backing of an institutional mechanism, unless you have an institutions like ICAR or NAM or NABARD, others come forward and support these people, it is not possible for them to go forward. So I think it is very right that so many institutions are coming forward to take them ahead. For example, BIRAC is funding, DST is funding, and even ICAR has come up with a very beautiful institutionalized program where we have, Dr. Srinivasa Rao was mentioning about 103 or 110 ICR institutes. Each one of them have a tremendous manpower who are incubation facilities, but now they have come to 50 incubation centers, and almost all ICR institutions have incubation centers. This is not all. I think every state government, I think Telangana is one of the leading state governments where incubation and hubs, technology hubs, innovation hubs, dime a dozen are there, so many are available. And all these are all helping how to take this forward or how to help these youngsters achieve their goal of solving some of the problems. Now, one of the strong points of ICAR is that this is an excellent thing. I appreciate, and I also feel that this should go on. But what I am here to, I thought I'll share with you slightly different viewpoint. That is like, yes, your passion is very good and you want to achieve something, please go ahead. We are all there to support you. But at the same time, you cannot keep all your eggs in one basket and expect that it will give a big return. You need to have some kind of a diversification. You need to plan for your future. So in that, when you want to expand, when you want to scale up, when you want to take higher heights, I think you will have to depend on again on agricultural research institutes and all these 103 institutions, agricultural research institutes and universities who are coming up with technologies. Now, I represent Agri Innovate, which is a one-stop shop which takes care of all agricultural technology commercialization. Now, this is an important job, and I am very happy to be doing this because in the last 3.5 years, we commercialized more than 300 technologies from across more than about 50 agricultural research institutes and about 4 or 5 state agriculture universities. So not just, these are ranging from about 2 lakhs to 70 lakh rupees is the license fee. Some are vaccines, some are biopesticides, some are innovative practices. And we have doing it not just in India, but we are also taken these to foreign countries. These are, the best part of the whole thing is that these technologies are time tested. They are market ready, their TRL levels are fixed, and they have all regulatory compliant technologies which you can just take it and go forward. So what I was thinking is, like, while all these youngsters want to concentrate on doing their passion that they want to take forward, I think you should also take some of the technologies from us, which are very easily available. And so many, NABARD is willing to fund, so many other institutions are willing to fund these technologies. And you don't even have to spend much on getting this technology licensed out. You also can use these incubation facilities, and without having to again invest into infrastructure, at least initially you start working with these institutions, test market it, take it forward, and then start your own business. So we have done this very successfully, and we have about more than 800 startups or technology-based support systems which are flourishing extremely well. Sir, I'll be extremely happy to share with you that one of the biopesticide formulations, one youngster, he was a PhD student, who took it and about 4 or 5 years ago. Today he is listed as one of the top 10 biotechnological firms in India. And without having to invest anything, he was only an incubator with us in one of the institutions, and then he started growing. So this is the kind of support when you have. I think my advice to all of you is you should make the best of it. You please take forward your own passion, but don't forget to look at the other several market-ready technologies which are there. And also, it's not just limited to domestic country or India alone. You can take it forward to other countries also. Recently, we have transferred a technology to a company based out of Russia. There is a banana-based pseudostem formulation. It's from Navasari Agriculture University. We had commercialized to Botswana. Recently, a company has taken it to be supplied in North America and South America. So it seems to be that the technologies which are time-tested, market-ready are available already, and sky is the limit. So I request all of you, please take advantage of this Udaan, but at the same time, please look at what is available with Agri Innovate. Please look at our website. You will get all the 107 institutions plus agriculture universities are there. Look at those technologies, try to take them, and I'm sure sky is the limit for you. I wish all of you all the best, and I look forward to having more interaction with you. I brought my brochures. I left some of those, and you can always write to me, talk to me, or visit our website. And I wish you all the best for the NAM as well as all the people who are here. Please take advantage, and I'll be only happy to assist you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for networking with rural financial institutions, regulatory supervision of banks, and many more. He is also the Board of Director of Regional Rural Banks. I kindly invite Mr. Arul Selvan to share a few words. Please, sir.
Respected Sri Jayesh Ranjan sir, Principal Secretary, Department of Industries, Commerce, Government of Telangana. Sri Srinivas sir, Director ICR NAM and President of AIDEA. Dr. Venkateshwarlu, Vice President, AIDEA and Joint Director NAM, Madam Sudha Mysore. Senthil Vinayagam sir, CEO AIDEA. Investors who have gathered here, mentors and knowledge partners, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I congratulate NAM for the launch event of Agri Udaan as a partner and wish that, like Agri Udaan 4, this reach greater heights and identify technology startups which can really make a change in the lives of the stakeholders for which NABARD is mandated to work. That is why we have partnered. And NABARD actually in the year 2016-17, we came up with a separate program of supporting the agribusiness incubation centers, especially through the agriculture universities and other research institutions, so that we can play a greater role in providing the necessary impetus for enhancing the livelihood of the farmers through technology. And Director NAM has already listed the various challenges we are having in the agriculture sector, like productivity, efficiency of supply chain. This we saw even in COVID times in the other areas, but agriculture areas we could manage it. So supply chain, that was looked into, access to markets, institutional credit and market linkages. So these are some of the challenges still is there with the farming sector. Farming sector, I mean not only agriculture, I am talking about allied sector. And we all know in a state like Telangana, the allied sector is also playing a very major role in transforming the lives of the farmers, especially in enhancing the per capita income. So connecting the allied sector farmers, the crop husbandry farmers, the fisheries farmers to the markets, so that they can play a greater role in the value chain and they can transform into more prosperity, because all of us agree that when the rural economy flourishes, the entire India flourishes. The demand for the other services grows, so it flourishes. So there is a win-win situation that is happening. So we feel in NABARD that institutions which have a very domain knowledge like agriculture universities and the research institutions can provide the necessary push and guide the startup entrepreneurs in this area. But if you see, I was reading a PricewaterhouseCoopers report, most of the startups are in the app space and the digital space. There is a requirement for startups in the production phase 1. There is a requirement for the startups in the logistics and the market chain, value chain phase, where they can really transform the drudgery of the ultimate stakeholders in the value chain. So they will also have a win-win situation if they are into it. We are seeing only startups in the commerce space, and some are coming in the agri-advisory space. Agri-advisory space also, it is more of generic advice rather than farmer-specific, crop-specific, or because we have advisory services for the private big poultry industries like that. But for a small farmer, is having a 5-acre banana or a 5-acre commercial crop, whether these startups can play the required advisory services and then help them go into the production, increase the production and value chain, production and marketing and getting the real price, that will play a real role. That is what I feel. So I will request Agri Udaan 5 also to identify such potential startups which can get into, even in the other startup industry other than the agriculture, we are thinking of deep tech startups which are investing in technology also. Not in the accelerator program, at least in the incubation program, we can try to connect to the people. So that is why we are taking advantage of these institutions and our grassroots level presence of district level officers and connecting to all the farmer producer organizations and other, we have created a lot of people's organizations in watersheds and TDFs. So we are connecting with them where they can really have a partnership and benefit from each other. So that is the approach here. And some of the areas, of course, I have told some of the areas where the startups can venture. I just listed out just for the sake of our knowledge. We can share it. One is cold chain warehouse logistics, then fortification of foods, value addition of foods. It may be food fortification or seed fortification. Then there are certain products like climate change related products, there are technologies which can be used for climate change mitigations. Now we are talking about drone. We have partnered with PGTSU sir for developing a drone-based package of practices for rice. So to reduce how the pesticide spray can be done, fertilizer spray can be done. So these are things. Then women in agriculture. Women in agriculture play a major role. Whether we can have technologies, we have technologies which can reduce the drudgery of women in agriculture. Whether these can be gainfully made, popularized or utilized through the startup, that we can think of. So, and this requires, of course, the entire government as well as we need not say about Telangana, it is the startup capital and a lot of things are happening. The policy efforts from the government is going through. One issue which I would like to flag with the startup industry is, now when you are having a startup, app-based startups, you get a lot of data of farmers. Data management and data security, you really need to concentrate are here. Have a public good. So we need to protect the data security. So have certain systems in place. And of course, sir was talking about in the agriculture sector and the allied sector, the skilling reorientation of the curriculum to promote entrepreneurs from the new generation is going on, and that will happen. And of course, innovation, madam has talked about, so I am not going to talk about. So this is in a nutshell. So I will once again wish Agri Udaan a very great success, and let us keep the mandate of NABARD in our activities, and all the best. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you so much, sir. I take immense pleasure in introducing Mr. Srinivas Rao Mahankali, CEO of T-Hub, Hyderabad. Mr. Srinivas Rao started his career at Sonata Computer from A-Idea for students and to announce the winners of Ignite 2.0. Please, sir.
Competition for students having some innovative idea and which can solve some kind of challenges in agriculture and allied sectors. So we have got 117 applications all over India, and after 3 rounds of selection process, we have the winner here. So first winner will get cash prize of 25,000 along with the appreciation certificate. The second winner will get 15,000 along with the certificate, and the other benefits as well. And the third winner will get 10,000. There are other benefits for winning this competition. All the Ignite winner will get opportunity to work with our startups, and they are our potential incubators. And also we will invite them to all our training programs. So with your permission, sir, can I announce the first winner? So we have the first winner, Mr. Satriyan. So please give a big round of applause.
They can come as intern to us. We have permission to take them as interns. And there is a course, there's a time. They can be 6 months, they can do intern as a part of their academic, as a part of their next course.
And we have the second winner, Ms. Ranjita from Coimbatore. And the third winner is Dr. Umesh.
On behalf
From the 3 different states. And the next, the event is there is a release of the book, very important book for the Agri Business Incubator Unit. Now, large number of technology business incubator and ABS are coming out, and which is all supported by different government. And they have been directed to work as an ATC, Section 8 company or as a society. So we are having experience for the last 7 years as a society. So we have created a guidelines for all the incubation units, sir. Because this is a little hybrid mode. It's following the government and also which should be flexible to the society formula. So at the same time, there should not be any financial queries from any of the system for it. So we have made a guidelines in such a way, invited the experts from the financial system and worked for the guidelines preparation. That particular book, with the respect of, we request the chief guest.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. We've now come to the most important part of this event, the launching of Agri Udaan 5.0. I kindly request our chief guest for the evening, Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, IAS, Principal Secretary, Department of Industries and Commerce, Government of Telangana, to do the honors. Please, sir. Thank you, sir. Attaching new investments and identifying various opportunities for utilizing IT in various government processes. He has done international consultancy assignments for the World Bank, UNESCAP. He is a part of the National Pool of Trainers in Leadership constituted by the Government of India and is involved in training and mentoring newly recruited civil servants. Among his other distinctions, he was awarded the Royal Order of the Polar Star by His Majesty, the King of Sweden in 2019 for promoting Swedish business interests in India, including the opening of IKEA's first Indian store in Hyderabad. Sir, we are very honored to have you here today with us. I kindly request you to share a few words with us. Please, sir. Yes.
Respected Dr. Srinivas Rao Garu, Dr. Venkateshwarlu Garu, Dr. Senthil Vinayagam, Mr. Arul Selvan, Sudha Mysore Garu, my colleague Srinivas Rao Garu. Cohort was launched, and I'm very happy to see how this program is growing, how the program is expanding. Before that, I would also like to congratulate the 3 winners of Agnite. I'm happy that they are working on ideas which are extremely compelling, and I'm sure that if they pursue those ideas sincerely, these can turn up into very major breakthroughs for not just our country, but for many other countries in the world. I also would like to congratulate the startups who were part of the Agri Udaan 4.0, the fourth cohort. Some of them came here and presented what they have done, and I'm very happy that the program was beneficial for them. They were able to find investors, they were able to find new markets, and most importantly, their own ideas record. And again, I really appreciate the rigor of this process. As we have seen, as was explained by Dr. Srinivas Rao Garu, out of more than 400 odd applications, you are selecting 15, you are selecting 20. So that also shows the strict quality standards that you want to maintain, which is very, very good. More than that, I would like to make a few comments about the role that innovation is going to play in the realm of agriculture. Dr. Srinivas Garu showed, when he was showing his slides, that the national goal was to double farmers' income by 2022. And it is not just a goal which has been set up by our current Prime Minister. I remember even when Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister, he also used to speak about doubling of farmers' income. This was a very important national priority since then. And of course, I'm happy that the current government in Delhi also is following the same agenda. But nevertheless, in this group, there are wide differences between, let us say, a zamindar kind of farmer who has some hundreds of acres of land and a marginal farmer who may have just 1 acre or 2 acre, that too of a degraded land. So his problems require a different set of strategies. The zamindar, of course, may not have any problem at all, or he may have what we can call a problem of plenty, but I'm sure he will be able to manage for himself. But how do we take care of the requirements of the smallest farmer, the marginal farmer, the sharecropper, the small leaseholder, etc.? Now, a couple of points which Mr. Selvan also spoke about. And again, these are very relevant in the context of doubling of farmers' income. Technology does appear to be very important. There are some already many very good solutions which have been backed by technology, where we see potential of improving the production, improving the productivity. And one range of technologies which I personally have come across, and I have seen them being implemented at least in the state of Telangana, relate to pest management. As you know, pest attacks, Telangana has a reasonably large coverage under cotton. Lots of cotton growing farmers are here. And one of the reasons why they are not able to really generate bumper profits year after year after year is largely due to pest attacks. And most of the times farmers are caught unawares, and even when they know that a pest attack is happening, the method which they adopt to tackle that is not completely scientific. They do something intuitive, they spray something, but it's not precisely targeted, the quantities, the quality, etc. is not arrived at very, very scientifically. So we have seen that many solutions have come in which the problem is detected at an early stage, solutions are tried out, monitoring happens, and eventually farmers have been able to save a large part of their crop. So how do you ensure that these technologies are made affordable, these are made accessible, and even as I told, the most marginal farmer is able to apply them very, very easily. The other area where we see farmers facing lots of challenges, particularly the small and marginal farmers, is about agriculture credit. And it surprises me to some extent that there are so many solutions, so many fintech solutions which have come up in which easy access to credit without too much of background verification, timely loans. In fact, it's a coincidence that I'm speaking about all these, when at the same time lots of Chinese apps which give quick loans, etc., are under controversy. But nevertheless, methodologies, technologies, the entire chain of how do you do innovation world, lots of Companies have come up with ways in which they monitor rainfall, they identify crop losses, they connect insurance companies with that satellite data and get quick disbursal of reimbursements or insurance compensations, etc. But the basic bottleneck at the level of accessing credit, that of course remains. On commerce, on marketing, as Mr. Arul Selvan pointed out, lots of work has been done, which are looking very promising. But again, we require to look at how a very small farmer's produce can also be aggregated. That aggregation model, then quality assaying, linking them to some kind of a primary processor where the value add can be a little bit more. We have not been able to see how these solutions can be scaled up and how these solutions can actually touch the lives of the common farmer. And again, how do you take care of the volatility of prices in different seasons across different crops, etc. Agriculture or agri-tech is happening in the areas of commerce. Maybe one reason is that easy money is available there. So we should also be kind of little bit more responsible on where are we putting the money. Is it only for the sake of easy returns, or are we looking at, or are we really looking at agriculture as a sector which supports millions of livelihoods in the country? And if the country tomorrow has to become we are talking now no more of the 5 trillion economy, we are now talking of ourselves as a $10 trillion economy. So wherever we want to go, whatever aspirations we have, it cannot happen if we neglect agriculture. So when we speak about investment funds, we also need to prioritize how much of it should be driven by easy returns and how much of it should be driven by handling some of these very fundamental challenges and problems in the sector. The other thing which I would like to mention is that, which I feel very impressed with, is that at least the advantage of AIDEA is that while you enter through NARM, your entry conduit is NARM, but straight away you have access to 117 ICAR institutions, and we would really encourage the AIDEA team also to customize for each of the startups, since your numbers are limited. You're only going to deal with 11, let us say 12 startups. So looking at the kind of activity they're going to be in, if you can really customize their 4 months of acceleration program, which of these ICAR institutions will best fit the kind of work they do, who will be the resource person there, and a very focused and very intensive kind of support if that is provided. Because as innovators, of course, like the two people who were part of the 4.0 cohort spoke about, they came into this line of activity from other backgrounds, like both of them were engineers, they did something else. And then they felt perhaps motivated by the world of agriculture and they chose to get into it. But obviously the kind of domain knowledge which an agriculture expert who has reached topmost positions in an ICAR institution will have, obviously that you will not have. You may have some other insights, but the very thorough domain knowledge is something which you will perhaps require from someone else who is available. And this program gives you that kind of accessibility. So I would request, this point is more for the team here to customize which is happening in the ecosystem. You did mention that you are connected with our agriculture universities, Ag Hub. But again, as you know, there is ICRISAT, which also has what is called the iHub, I think. iHub. So please understand what they are doing. They are also doing some very interesting work, particularly in areas like millets and all. And I personally also feel that millets are going to become more and more important. So please connect with them. Similarly, within our government also, Telangana government also, lots of priorities being given to innovation in agriculture area. In fact, of course, we do collaborate with the Agriculture University and the ICRISAT and other institutions, etc. But we would like to have more strong collaborations with AIDEA also. You spoke about, one of the speakers spoke about data. I'm very happy to share with you. Some of you may be aware, but I'm happy to share this with you, that in fact today only, in fact the work which we are doing on data-driven agriculture is something which I guess no other state in the country is doing. We have decided to set up a agriculture data exchange, and we have given the responsibility to Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, to create the architecture of that data exchange. In fact, today only, again, it's a nice coincidence that I'm speaking here in the evening. And just a few hours ago, we finalized the candidate who will be the chief data officer in our agriculture department. So the agriculture department has decided to create a specialized position called the chief data officer. And I'm happy that we have selected a very good candidate this evening itself. And lots of this kind of work is happening. We are also a part of another network, which again is a very important network of domain experts, which is called Agri Conservatory. So we are working with them as well, again to create more and more evidence-based solutions for the pressing problems which are actually being faced at the grassroots. In fact, when you were speaking, Mr. Sylvan, I was also kind of thinking that, so one point which I mentioned was that solutions are coming where the funding is apparently going, but one other is to understand what kind of challenges, what kind of problems farmers are facing. Then you will create demand-driven solutions. Otherwise, your solutions will be largely directed at where the money is going, or maybe based on your own aptitude, what I'm good at, therefore I should create a solution and I'll try to push it down potential users. But the other way, what is called the bottoms-up approach, that you spend time with the farmers, again with the marginal farmers, small farmers, etc., etc. But nevertheless, I'm very confident that as 5 cohorts have gone by, Agri Udaan itself as a program is getting more matured. The learning curve is apparently over, and I do hope that the results of this year are even more amazing than the results which we have seen in the previous 4 years. So once again, congratulations to NAR and AIDEA and to Honorable Director Garu and all the other team members for the continued success of this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words. I now kindly invite our President of AIDEA and the Director of ICAR NAM, Dr. C.S. Srinivas Rao, to honor our chief guest with a memento. Please, sir. Sonata Computer Vision Labs in Microland. He's a serial entrepreneur with over 3 decades in the information technology industry. He's co-founded the Ahujas in 2008 by NSEIT. He is also a board member and part of the promoter team at Network Solutions, which was acquired by IBM in 2005. I now invite Mr. Srinivas Rao Mahankali to address the gathering. Please, sir.
Thank you, and good evening to all the dignitaries on the dais. Thank you for this opportunity. So I'm sure a lot of what I'm going to say would have already been said before, so I'll try and keep this short. So obviously I think we all recognize Agri is a large sector. 40% of our employment comes from Agri, close to 12 to 13% of our GDP comes from there. And relatively compared to other sectors, innovation, there's a lot which we need to do, right? And we've also seen that's what's happened now with all this, the geopolitical events recently in terms of supply chain disruption is also impacting several poor countries which used to import from, and so on. So when we look at from a perspective of innovation, right? So obviously relative to other sectors, agri-tech has been relatively slower. Both in terms of the number of startups. There are now about 1,000 startups in the agri space, close to about $500 million of funding compared to an overall funding of about $64 billion. So it's still about 1% only. And obviously, as I think Jayesh Garu also mentioned a couple of times, a lot of it has been more about aggregation and commerce. But we are seeing now particularly in the work we are doing, a lot of interest around usage of data in terms of, for example, we have a couple of startups which are using AI ML in terms of predictive models. So that's clearly a use case there. We have seen, for example, the first wave of startups where companies like Cropin, AgroStar, Dehat, Promethean and so on. And we are now starting to see some more focus around the fintech part, where again the use of data to drive decisions is starting to become critical. So we see a tremendous scope for collaboration with the initiative of IDEA, because clearly our focus, we put together a simple framework which is around helping our startups access, we call it 6 M's, access markets, access money, access mentors, access talent or manpower, motivation and mindset. And one of the new initiatives at T-Hub, as you know, we launched the new phase of T-Hub a little over 6 weeks ago on the 28th of June. And one of the things we are trying very hard there is to increase capital flow into startups. So we've set up what we call a VC zone, venture capital zone, and I'm happy to share with you that close to 6 large VCs who were earlier had a negligible presence in supporting entrepreneurs in Hyderabad and Telangana are now actually starting to work from our space. So I'd really love for us to engage more closely, and that's one part. The second point which I thought we should talk about is, while first of all, kudos to the 12 entrepreneurs who've been selected for this event, but we are also now, one of the things which we recognize when you want to build an entrepreneurial ecosystem is about, one is of course we'll have few winners and some don't make it, but it's also about creating communities, right? Creating communities of interest. So we are happy to, we've started doing that, for example, in some of the other sectors like healthcare, EV. We've just launched, in fact, just yesterday we launched, Jesh Garu was there, Web 3.0 community and so on. So we would love to see how we can engage with those other, other startups which didn't actually make the cut, in a way of speaking, and see how we can start to build a community, right? So I see tremendous scope for collaboration between IDEA and T-Hub. I think our goal is the same. We want to focus on building out a very strong entrepreneurial ecosystem, and I think this is a great opportunity. So congratulations to all the winners, and look forward to tighter collaboration between T-Hub and IDEA. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I now invite our director, sir, to honor the dignitaries. Thank you, sir. I would now like to invite Dr. G. Venkateshwarlu. Dr. G. Venkateshwarlu is an Assistant Director General, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. He is also the Principal Scientist of Central Institute of Fisheries and Education.
Thank you. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Definitely, it's a tough task for your continuous support and also guidance. Every time you gave wonderful advice, and we will definitely, we have been taking care, and we look forward in future also. Thank you, sir. And we thank profusely NABARD and Selvan Saab. Sir, I think we definitely, I request all of you to give a round of applause to NABARD. they have been supporting AIDEA for collaboration and the important association with you. And already we have got some feeling of that. When we visited you, you immediately agreed so that we can jointly support some seed funding and all. So thank you for your presence here, and we look forward for continuous support in terms of this startup ecosystem. And I thank our colleague, senior colleague, and who has been handling our commercial arm of entire ICR system, Dr. Sudha Mysore, for coming all the way from Delhi and also giving advice in terms of opportunities in the startup ecosystem. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. And definitely we will take your ideas so that convey to our startups, and also we will be having some interaction, special sessions between AIDEA and also Agri Innovate and all. So I thank our director for his all continuous support and guidance, and more importantly, we support our sponsors, especially Caspian. They have been with us from the beginning. Today they could not make it, but always they supported us in all our occasions. And also SIDBI, and most importantly a new partner with us, SBI. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And certainly we look forward for more association with SBI. And for your visit also, we thank and look forward for a functional relationship with SBI. That symbol itself gives a lot of confidence to each and everyone is looking forward that. And particularly, I take this opportunity to thank, though they are not visible, but they are the most important for the success of AIDEA. Whether it is a Department of Science and Technology, they have been supporting in the name of Nidhi Prayas, Nidhi Seed. And also we have got continuous support from BIRAC, that is Department of Biotechnology, in terms of BIRAC Big and BioSeed and all those. So they have been continuous from the day one with AIDEA, so that all our incubators are given a wonderful opportunity in various funding, whether it is in terms of grants or sometimes in terms of seed fund. So without that, it is not possible. And finally, our knowledge partners. As our director mentioned, we have a wonderful network of 103 commodity-based research institutes, and we have got functional relation with them, and we will continue, and we thank all of them for support to our startups. And also, I thank my colleagues, and finally the entire brigade of AIDEA team, very young and dynamic team. I think you join with me to give under the CEOship, Dr. Senthil Vinayagam. I think that they have done marvelous job, wonderful job. So I thank each one of them for making this event really Udaan. So we have, sir, we have bird, a NABARD arm bird, and also we have bio nest. So I don't know, somehow that nest and bird, and today helping us to reach Udaan. And I wish a wonderful time everyone, particularly startup, and congratulations to Agri winners. And we look forward for your association with AIDEA. And now, thanks to all my colleagues from NARP and also participants of this event. And I invite all of you to join for dinner. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Before
Thank you, sir. I kindly request all the dignitaries, mentors, our sponsors to rise up for the national anthem.
तव शुभ आशीष मांगे